Prevention of knocking. Knocking can be prevented by the addition of anti-knocking agents. Usually organometallic compounds will be added. So if you use petrol with high octane number, you can prevent knocking, and also with the critical compression ratio. So the substances those are added to petrol in order to decrease the knocking tendency in IC engines are called anti-knocking agents. There are two types of anti-knocking agents. One is leaded petrol and another one is unleaded petrol. In leaded petrol, there are three types of leaded petrols, but out of these, tetraethyl lead is most commonly used as anti-knocking agent. Now, what happens when we add this TEL to the gasoline? It produces lead and lead oxide. It produces lead and lead oxide as the free radical chain inhibitors. Okay, this lead and lead oxide, it will prevent this rapid combustion. It prevents rapid combustion and it allows to smooth combustion process. Now, both lead and lead oxide are highly toxic and both are solid materials. So, how to remove this lead and lead oxide from the engine? We need to add lead dibromide and lead chloride. We have to convert it into lead bromide and lead chloride. So here to convert this into gaseous products like bromide or chloride, we need to add either ethyl bromide or ethyl chloride or some ethyl halides should be added. So when we add ethyl halides, this lead and lead oxide will be converted into corresponding bromides and they highly they can be removed from the engine because both are highly volatile products. Now, lead is highly toxic, so we cannot use lead in the engine containing this since it produces lead or lead oxide or lead products, it's highly toxic and it relates to health hazardness. So that's why we need to use unleaded petrol. Okay, and one more thing, in any engine, if it contains catalytic converters, nowadays in most of the engines they use catalytic converters since because that reduces pollution. So that's why any engine, if it contains a catalytic converter, this lead it will deactivate the catalyst used in the catalytic converter. So that's why we cannot use leaded petrol for such engines. So that's why unleaded petrol has been introduced. So this unleaded petrol, you're adding unleaded petrol means instead of lead you have to add something else. So maybe we can add methyl tertiary butyl ether or methanol, ethanol, even isooctane or aromatic compounds can be added to increase the octane number or to increase anti-knocking characteristic. Now next is power alcohol. It's nothing but when ethyl alcohol is mixed as an additive to motor fuel to act as the fuel for internal combustion engines, it is called power alcohol. So alcohol mixed with or petrol mixed with alcohol. So usually maximum 25% of alcohol can be mixed with the petrol. Industrial alcohol always it contains 5% water, but it needs some blending agents. Usually we add benzene or ether as blending agent, otherwise water will not mix with the petrol. Now, how do we prepare this alcohol? As usual, you know, this it can be prepared by saccharine materials or sugar materials, starchy materials, cellulose materials, or hydrocarbon gases. Now, what are the advantages of power alcohol? All these points I have listed in the notes in detail. So please go through these advantages and disadvantages of power alcohol. It's very important. Write a note on power alcohol. Question will be asked like this. See, power alcohol has higher octane number which possesses better anti-knock properties. Alcohol, it has octane number 90. So gasoline, petrol, it has got usually in automobile engines we use octane number around 70. So we mix it with the alcohol, octane number can be enhanced. So there is no starting problem with the power alcohol. Air required for complete combustion also less. It has the ability to absorb trace of moisture. So ability to burn completely. But what are the disadvantages here? It causes corrosion due to, since alcohol, it undergoes oxidation and it produces acid. So that leads to corrosion and it lowers calorific value and already I have told, and air entered the cylinder need to be regulated because less oxygen is sufficient for combustion here. Next one is biodiesel. So biodiesel is nothing but is a mixture of monoalkyl esters of long chain fatty acids which can be produced by the transesterification of the vegetable oil or animal fat. So this transesterification reaction can be done in the presence of uh, base like sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. So transesterification reaction is nothing but fatty acids with methanol or ethanol in the presence of base. So here one example we have given triglyceride. It reacts with the methanol in the presence of sodium hydroxide. You'll get mixture of fatty acids. There is no bond between these molecules. Mixture of fatty acids and glycerol will be produced. So this is a biodiesel production. This is the example. What are the steps to be followed? And advantages, disadvantages similar to power alcohol I have listed here. Please go through these advantages and disadvantages of biodiesel, very important. The next is fuel cells. So far we have seen chemical fuels. Now fuel cells is similar to battery. Already you have studied this fuel cells, hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. So what is fuel cell? A fuel cell is a device that converts the chemical energy of a fuel and oxidant into electricity by means of electrochemical process in which the fuel is oxidized at the anode. It's nothing but galvanic cell. Okay, chemical energy is converted into chemical energy of fuel and oxidant is converted into electrical energy. See, these are the differences between conventional cell and fuel cell. In the case of conventional cell, chemical energy of a fuel is converted into thermal energy, and this thermal energy is converted to mechanical energy to run the turbine, and finally it is converted into electrical energy. But what happens in each and every step, there will be loss of energy and finally you will get only 40%. But in fuel is stored in an conventional cell, and there will be harmful waste products also in any cell. So it operates until the reactants stored in it are completely used up and requires conventional fuels such as oil or gas. But what are the advantages of fuel cells? Here chemical energy of fuel and oxidant is directly converted into electrical energy. So theoretically it is 100%, but practically you will get only energy efficiency is only 80% maximum. The fuel and oxidant are not stored in the cell, they are stored outside and supplied as and when required. Absence of harmful waste here then operates as long as reactants and products supplied, and fuel cell do not need conventional fuels such as oil or gas. It cannot be recharged also. This is the hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, already you have studied this.